How do you feel about, crossovers, Justin? Like, with Michael, with Platinum Dunes owning the rights to Michael Myers, and you got them owning Freddy and Jason. I mean, would you like
Teach movie?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'd like to see. I've been wanting to see. I'm a big fan of the Friday 13th, the 2009 one. So I wanted to see a sequel to that movie. I would like to see a Nightmare on Elm Street sequel where they would take, the next movie in each franchise to be taken like really seriously, and maybe possibly a dark movie, like just a serious film. To just go, just make a Halloween sequel, a Nightmare sequel, Friday 13th.
Yeah,
it was a fun, awesome movie.
I love that movie. It's rocks.
But if you do want to take your film serious, the crossover thing, it can work with action. It can work with.
Kind of did take it a little bit more serious than a lot of Freddy movies, because you compare Freddy's Dead to Freddy vs. Jason. It's a lot.
Freddy vs. Jason movie was more a Freddy movie altogether, because you didn't get to Camp Crystal Lake until the very end, and the very beginning was at Camp Crystal Lake, so it was more a Freddy movie than anything.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you want to collaborate all these characters together, like Michael, Freddy, and Jason. I think if you collaborated all of them together, it might turn out good, but it also could turn out to be a mess, because you're trying to get all these characters to fit into one, and yet they all have different stories going on, and they're from different times. I don't know how they would be able to.
Well, the way I look at it is, it could work if they got the right director and the right director and right scriptwriter. But right now, I just want to see another Elm Street movie and another Jason movie, and anything they do after that is fine with me. But I just want to see a couple more sequels, to the remakes, because I think they're really good.
I know, it's just been like, come on, get on with it. The Friday 13th remake, they had the script on. I mean, they were going to have it take place in winter, which is pretty cool.
Which will remind me from
it did pretty damn freaking awesome, if you ask me, because it made more than even now, because they made a ton of money off the Elm Street remake. So I think that in itself, means they should make a sequel, because I enjoyed the remake, even though that the reception from the reviews weren't that good. Tons of people went to go see the movie, and it made tons of money. You know?
And then again, with reviews, it's just like, what do? They just have a piece of paper that says, I went to film school. It's not like your own opinion.
And I think a lot of times it's just a lot of people, bashing movie because it's popular. So they want to make fun of what's popular. If a movie makes tons of money, there's going to be haters everywhere, basically. Because then they say it's overrated. They try to go against what's popular and what's not. It's an amazing job, this Freddy.
It's great as Freddy.
Yeah.
I can say the makeup could use a little bit more work. I mean, the
I wish
face
it was like New Nightmare.
Wasn't that great.
I would say, and even though I really like the film, the one thing I wish that they could do better with, and this is just my opinion, is when it comes to the script, really get to know the characters, because I felt like besides Nancy and Quentin, every other character just seemed to be killed off like really fast. And you didn't really get to know them as much, because you look at the first Nightmare on Elm Street, and you like a lot of the characters. You really get to know them in certain ways. I mean, some die early off, but you care about Tina and everything. And I feel like the Nightmare on Elm Street remake a little bit better, because I love Chris. I love Katie Cassidy as Chris. I wanted to see her go on a little bit more, and it's the same with Thomas Decker. You got to know the characters, you see them, you see them interact, but I wish the characters would have would have flowed a little bit better.
And
but that's my opinion.
You know what left out basically by them re-editing the entire film. I mean,
yeah.
There's a scene where they're like at a party smoking pot, and I'm sure that you get to learn a lot more about the characters in that scene than what they're showing you in the movie, basically. And that's a scene I really wanted to see. I mean, I was hoping it was going to be a deleted scene, so you get to see more of it.
Yeah, and that's the thing about, you know, sometimes it's the editing that it's the problem sometimes, because they take out when you see the Nightmare on Elm Street, have more character development with certain characters, so you can like them even more.
Yeah, and that's only a suggestion that I basically have when they make Elm Street 2. Don't like show a trailer and be like, oh, this is what's going to happen in the trailer, and go to the movie and be like, wait a second, this is a different scene than what they showed in the trailer, and they like refilmed it, and it's a totally different scene. You know, and like when I went to it, a lot of scenes that got cut out and refilmed basically. But at the same time, I kind of liked that, because then I had no idea what was going to happen. So I was like, what the hell? You know, because I was watching it and it's totally different than what I was expecting. And I kind of like that too.
My personal favorite scene in the Elm Street remake would be the scene where Nancy's taking a look at the kid documenting his sleep and all that stuff on the computer and all that stuff, and like, you know, him saying like what he's seeing and all that stuff, and then all of a sudden you see him getting shoved against the computer, almost like something you would see in Paranormal Activity.
Yeah.
What's up, bro?
I have credits. I think that's really cool.
I wish they showed how Freddy made his glove, because that was one of the lead scenes, and I really wish I saw that in the movie though.
You know what would be a cool idea?
Yeah.
To have someone who's working with Freddy. Kind of someone who, like if he wanted to, like, kill people, like, while they're awake, that they can bring him out of the dream world and into reality. Kind of have, like, a partner. But, like, I mean, Freddy's the same, like...
Kind of like Elm Street 2?
Yeah, kind of. But, like, the person is willingly working with him to make up. Well, they can divert to a more classic thing, like, oh, and one more thing, change your look. It'll be a little bit scarier. That could work. That could be a way of how they can change it. I mean, that could also be a way how they can somehow cross over the movies. They could have...
Freddy vs. Jason, there's a scene where he possesses...
Like, the most awesome story.
He had the needles behind his back, and he was like...
Come to Freddy.
Yeah.
But more stuff like that, someone who's working with Freddy. Yeah. I think that would be something different, and it would be a cool idea, too. Because, like... It's kind of original, someone who's like really working with these sessions, because they're always by themselves.
Well, that's what I really liked about Elm Street 2, was the fact that it was a cool concept.
Well, with this one, it could be someone who's willingly kind of wanting to work with them, because they kind of like hate everyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I kind of have two things to talk about that. The first thing is I actually wrote 2 fan-made screenplays of continuing after Freddy's dead, or continuing after part 5, because my idea was that I was going to bring back Alice, and I was going to bring back her son Jake.
Yeah.
That was my idea. So continue it after part 5. And then kind of Freddy's dead, because he is kind of resurrected after, you know, being killed off. My next sequel, it was going to be that, you know, there is this kid, and he's not really working for him, like they're not planning to work together, but Freddy kind of, you know, doesn't possess him, but he brings him in somehow. I haven't read them in a long time, so I can't really explain them too much, and I have to, like, do a lot of rewrites, but, yeah, I did
that'd be cool, you know?
Yeah, it sounds like a great idea.